Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the 125th stream of Let's Talk FPL after Gameweek 6. It's a pretty good game week for a lot of people. Not too many high scores because of captaincies. Obviously, Salah beat Aguero and Hazard, but only just. So it wasn't a huge week for a lot of people. We're seeing a few 70 scores, which is good. So yeah, welcome all. How is it going? Physio, what's up? Peter, how's it going? I'll have my scoring stuff on screen in a minute. I did okay. It was a solid enough week. Got another green arrow. I'm happy. Seen some really good scores in chat. People were in the top 1,000. Jamie Dodger, how's it going? 60 points. 60 points is fine. I'm always happy with 60. 60 is like my aim mostly. Trent Alexander-Arnold is a bargain that nobody's talking about. We talked about him on the last stream actually. We're potentially considering Mendy to him. I went for Trippier in the end. You'll see my score in a minute. And my team. Shane, the first time you've seen the stream live, happy days. Hope you enjoy it. Make sure to get your questions in. Always try and answer as many questions as possible, but it does get difficult with the amount that come in. You look slimmer on the last cast. Did you miss your sessions this week? I did not actually. I had to do extra sessions because I couldn't get down to the gym. It's the food. Not good. How long is Mendy out for? We'll talk about that soon. We don't know. Is the short answer. Stay away from Andre Gray. Watford looking pretty good. I kind of wrote them off because of Gray and Deeney, and they've kind of shown me that I was talking rubbish. How's it going, Luke? First time you've seen it in a while. All right, let's just jump straight into showing my scores and stuff. We'll just go through the sponsor intro first, and then we'll crack on with it. Missed the click at the end. Thanks very much, Fantasy Football Scout. .co.uk for sponsoring the stream. If you want to check them out, links in the description below. This is my team. 63 points this week. Overall rank is 65,305. So it's an almost 20,000 dead rise. I was 85,200 and something. So not quite 20k, but near enough. So it was an okay week. Obviously, Ryan is stinking up my team. I think he's faced 2 penalties the last 2 weeks. No saves, unfortunately. Would have been amazing. But, yeah, like I spoke about on the last stream, I think Ryan was possibly a mistake. But they got a nice-ish run of fixtures coming up. So, not going to complain about that too much. And I did Mendy to Trippier. Now, if Trippier had kept that clean sheet, I think he was on for 1 bonus point as well. Possibly. That's a good point, actually. Hang on. Yeah, 63. Why is it? Hang on. Maybe the rank had updated, but not the team. Should have Ward in the team. There you go. David Silva didn't play. That was a nightmare. Yeah, obviously, if yeah, I thought they'd already done the subs. I don't know why it didn't show up, but there you go. Yeah, obviously Trippier not keeping the clean sheet now makes that Mendy to Trippier move look a bit dodgy, because if Mendy's back this week, he's got a really nice fixture, and while Trippier does too, I would be more happy this week owning Mendy if he's going to play. The reason I sold in the end is a very weird situation going on there, where it was the knee, then it's the ankle. Apparently it's a metatarsal. He's been very quiet on social media. No, not completely quiet. Obviously City kept back-to-back clean sheets. Dell's done okay. Sané's played well, and obviously we know from just how they set up that it seems to be Mendy or Sané. I don't know how often they're going to start together. So Sané's playing well, and City's fixtures get a little tougher from here. So Brighton's obviously a really good game, but then it's Liverpool, Spurs, and Man United in the next 5. So would you expect City to win those games? They could probably win 2 or 3 of them. Do I expect clean sheets? Probably not. Not necessarily, anyway. I think Liverpool could score against them. You know, we saw United put 3 past them last year. So I don't think there's necessarily clean sheets. Obviously, one of the reasons you get Mendy in is attacking returns. But I thought it was a good time to cash in, get ahead of the game on Trippier. And like I said, if he kept that clean sheet last minute goal, I didn't watch the game. I was out watching rugby, funnily enough. And apparently Spurs didn't deserve to keep the clean sheet anyway. So, you know, I didn't see the game. But like, if that's the case, that's the case. But if he kept it at the end, then suddenly it looks like a really good move. So I'm happy enough with him. I think longer term, I won't keep him because there is possible rotation threat, especially around Champions League and stuff. So we'll have to see how many games he plays at the Champions League versus the Premier League. But he could become Robertson or Trent Alexander-Arnold when they're back. I could downgrade him to a 4.5. I don't know, but that was the thinking with Mendy. There's just a lot of weird stuff going on there, and if he's not back for this game, then I don't know if I'm really that bothered about not having him longer term. So, yeah, I went for that. But obviously, it would have been good to have 2 free transfers. And then David Silva not playing at all. Frustrating. I did think he was going to play, but obviously Pep did say he's going to rotate him or use him more sparingly. So, got to keep him for this week. In fact, I'll put on my team for this week so you can see it. I think I'm looking pretty good. I'm happy. I'm happy with my team this week. The thing I'm most happy about is that I get to play Doherty again. Because that guy's a legend. Edison and Set and Forget is the best cover for Man City defence. I mean, Laporte is pretty nailed on. Hasn't missed a game so far. Yarmolenko thoughts look good against Chelsea. Yeah, I was pretty impressed. He should have scored. Of course, that header was not good. That should have been a clean sheet wipeout for Alonso. Yeah, he looks good. And once their fixtures... in fact, their fixtures must be clearing soon. Let's have a look. They're around the 7 million mark. That's the only thing. So they're a little bit less. 6.8. So it's around Richarlison, Lingard price. Yeah, Man United and Spurs in the next 3. So they don't really have a really good run of fixtures for a while. Probably around Gameweek 15, where they start getting a few home games. So I'm not in a huge rush for him. But yeah, he did look good. Am I worried about a lack of United cover? No, not really. I was a little bit gutted I didn't put Shaw in once he started again. But they didn't keep a clean sheet anyway. What to do with Mendy? I think if you've not sold him at this point, then you probably just wait. Just take the price drop and wait for some more info. Yeah, Hazard. We should talk about Hazard. Basically, he reverted to form today. Look, the guy's only not got points in 1 game. I'm not worried about him too much just yet. But I did say I wasn't, unless you're on a wildcard, I wasn't so sure about bringing him in this week because obviously Liverpool had a good fixture. Obviously, Mane didn't do anything, but you know that happens every now and again. And obviously, Chelsea do have Liverpool, Man United in the next 3 now. I wouldn't completely write off Chelsea. Obviously, they've done really well this season already. They're going to cause Man United problems. Liverpool game will probably be quite open, so definitely points there. But I'm just not sure he suddenly is essentially as he was looking last week at 10.9 million if you've not got him. That's a lot of money. You know, you could now look at getting rid of Mane for the next 2 fixtures, for example, maybe Salah, but then they've got Liverpool. So I keep saying they've got a good run of fixtures, but let's just go through it. So after the next 2 games, it's Huddersfield, Cardiff, and Fulham in the next 4, and Cardiff and Fulham at home. Like that's prime Salah captaincy for me in game week 10 and 12, maybe even game week 9. Obviously, game week 11 is against Arsenal, it's a bit trickier. But yeah, I just don't think Hazard is essential by any stretch. Although I did also say that before he got 20 points against Cardiff, so make of that what you will. When considering any Arsenal assets, good old Ramsey saved my total points. Yeah, I like Ramsey. I say that quite a bit. I never seem to ever get him in my team. He either gets injured when I've got a spare chance to do it, or right now I'm pretty happy with my team. But yeah, I think Lacazette's good. I think I said that on the last the stream or whatever. Aubameyang just obviously a bit more expensive and playing out wide, so he'd go for the central striker, I think, there and save a bit of money. So Lacazette, maybe Ramsey, I don't know. Probably no defenders right now. Salah overrated because of last season. Yeah, I don't know how much time we want to spend on talking about Salah because I think what's been said's been said. I mean, he started off pretty much the same way as he did last season, and last season he absolutely smashed it. So if he's going to get another 300 points, then he's well worth 12.9 million. I think a lot of people talk about value, and value is key in Fantasy Premier League. Obviously, we're trying to get the best value players across our squad because we've only got a limited amount of budget. But at some point, you just have to spend that money. And with players like Salah, you're paying for consistency. I can have loads of £6 to £8 million players in there because they're absolute value. And over the course of the season, yeah, sure, they might provide a good number of points. But with Salah, Hazard, Aguero, you're paying for that consistency of them getting a big score more often than not. And so, yes, Salah is 12.9 million. It's a bit annoying that he's dropped in price. But I'm just looking ahead. And you could get rid of him for the next couple of fixtures. I've talked about that. And I'm still not completely against doing that. For example, I could go Salah to Richarlison this week. And then after the Liverpool game, after the City game, do Silva back to Salah. David Silva. Oh, excuse me. David Silva back to Salah. So that's an option. Which I may do, but do I want to drop Salah for Richarlison? I mean, that just smells of dodginess. Or it could be Salah to Sterling. But the only thing I have against Sterling is that the second game, obviously Salah has Man City away, which means Sterling has Liverpool at home. Or is it the other way around? Sorry, let me check that. Yeah, other way around, sorry. So Liverpool have City at home, whereas Sterling's fixture will be Liverpool away. So I'm not too happy about bringing him in for Salah in that regard. Maddison or Richarlison. Do you know what? I think if you're talking long term, I think you have to say Maddison right now. But this week, Richarlison for sure, because Fulham just going to concede goals. And I think they've got a pretty good fixture after that as well. Let me just check. I can't remember the run after Fulham. Yeah, Leicester away and Crystal Palace at home. Then they've got Brighton at home after Man United. And Cardiff at home. So pretty nice for Everton. But Maddison's just ticking over. I just can't fault him since I brought him into my team. Yes, I know some people saying he got a bit lucky, but he's on set pieces, which is why we like him. And their fixtures are really good too. The Arsenal away game, probably not great, but Newcastle away, Everton at home, West Ham at home, Burnley at home, Watford at home, all coming up in the next kind of 7-8 fixtures. So, yeah, I like Richarlison. But for me, if I get him in, it's for Salah or Hazard. I'm not completely against that, to be honest. Or I could switch to 3-5-2. That's another option. But that means taking a hit. And I'm not sure I want to do that. Take a hit to get rid of Wilson, and then I damage my bench as well. Although, again, not necessarily too against that because Wan-Bissaka and Bennett are nailed on. So having those two on my bench is not the end of the world. Lukaku and Lingard for Hazard and Jimenez. No, don't think so. Jimenez is great. I love that guy. Oh, let me put the different music on. Why Doherty instead of Wan-Bissaka? So Wan-Bissaka has been very, very good. 2 back-to-back 9-pointers. Very good on bonus. Can't fault him. But it is Bournemouth away. And I know Bournemouth had a bit of a shocker this weekend. I would expect them to score against Palace. And I'd say if you're questioning Doherty, you've probably not seen them play recently. Like, he is very attacking. So Van Bissaka can't fault him, but I think this week I may promote him to second bench, but I think I've got to have Ward as first, just on the off chance that Cardiff do something and he's involved. And he's got Burnley at home, so it's a good fixture. So it's between Bennett with Southampton at home. Yes, Ings will be back, which would be a boost for Wolves, but Doherty's so attacking. It seems very good. You need to be brave and forget about Richarlison. I mean, yeah, we've said it all season. You can't have them all. I don't fancy getting rid of Salah, I'll be honest. I just think there's every chance he gets points in the next two. And Hazard, it's too quick. It's too early to get rid of him after one blank. But today was that frustrating game watching Hazard that talked about on the Scoutcast about how, you know, we've seen him do this before. He does well and then he just goes off and does nothing. And he doesn't have that killer eye for goal. I don't care that he scored a hat-trick against Cardiff. That was Cardiff. I said that before he got his goal at Bournemouth, and obviously that made me look really stupid. But if you watch him today, there's a few times it's almost like he made the wrong decisions. There's a few times when he should have shot that he tried to get the assist, and there was a chance at the end of the game where he shot and he really should have crossed it in, or crossed it across the floor, because there was lots of players in the box, Alonso, Morata, etc. So, Hazard's frustrating for that money. And it's only one game week though, so I don't want to knee-jerk too much. But today was exactly everything I hate about watching Hazard when you've got him as an FPL player. Like, he's a great player, and he will get plenty of assists this season. But as an FPL player, manager, you want to see him going for goal when he's good enough to get those goals. He plays Liverpool. He could get returns. He's never going to. Yeah, I know he's not going to get returns every week. No one does. It's fair enough, but it's just a frustrating watch. I'm not sure how often I'd want to captain him. He was at Old Trafford yesterday. Doherty been on the radar for weeks, so watched him close. He's got huge potential. Costa providing width, and then when it came to cross, Doherty was around the penalty spot. Yeah, I mean, he should have had more points in the last match against Burnley. Burnley defended pretty well and Hart was on fire, but honestly, Doherty should have scored near the end. He had a chance that Hart saved basically on the line. The man is in the box a lot for a defender anyway. He's a right wing back, I suppose, but play Robertson and Alonso. If I've got those two, I would play him this week. Why do you only have one midfielder with a true eye for goal? Good point. But David Silva and Maddison are not 10.9 million. And David Silva has scored this season. In fact, he had more, when I got him in, he'd had more shots in the box than Hazard. He's only scored 2 goals, to be fair. But yeah, they're not 10.9 million. Bolly seems like a good bonus point magnet. Yeah, he looks pretty dangerous from corners. And yeah, he's good for bonus. Do you prefer Jimenez over Mitrovic? Probably not. I think Mitrovic is the sub £7 million striker of choice, to be honest. I'm a bit annoyed I couldn't fit him in price-wise. I mean, I could have got him in instead of Wilson when I made the wildcard, but I'd have had to not have Maddison. So, just keen to fit everyone in. I would like him, yeah. What Spurs attacker is best for the upcoming game weeks? Everyone's suddenly looking at Harry Kane, which I find a little bit weird. I know it's the fixtures, but I mean, look, Kane in for -4. He got a penalty. Apparently, I've not seen the game, so I won't pretend that I have. I kind of got mixed comments when I asked how he played, but the majority seemed to be that he didn't do much for 70 minutes. Then Lucas Moura went off, and then he looked okay. But he's 12.5 million. I know it's fixtures, so that's fair enough, but I find it weird that some of the people that are saying no to Salah are now looking at Kane. I find that really strange. Okay, Salah's got 2 dodgy fixtures next, and maybe they're just doing the short-term move on Kane. And to be fair, Kane is at least in kind of Twitter circles and YouTube and stuff like that, he's probably a bit of a differential, to be honest. I bet not many people in mini leagues have got him. But I don't know, 12.5 mil. Do you think now is the time to spend less on defence and instead start loading on attacking options? I mean, I still think... I think if for example, if I went for a Liverpool defender now, I'd probably just go for Trent Alexander-Arnold. I think Robertson is going to be the better option over the course of the season, but it's 1 million plus more. I think it's 1.1 million more. Got Alonso, I'll hold for now. And I got Trippier instead of Mendy. So I was taking a little bit of money out of my defence. I don't think that's necessarily 100% the best way to play now, though. They're still offering really good value. And while I said earlier, we have players like Salah disregard value, you still need those value picks in there. So I wouldn't rush to get rid of the money from defence. I think, yes, Liverpool not looking great for maybe clean sheets the next two, but they've defended so well this season. Who's to say they don't get at least one from the next two games? I mean, you'd back against it if you had attackers against Liverpool in the next two. Like, I wouldn't back against Hazard getting points, so obviously they'd lose the clean sheet then, but you know, it can happen with how well they've done. How much longer do we persist with Wilson? Yeah, he's getting a bit annoying because I bought him in and suddenly kind of his performances have been down, his stats are down. Still got nice fixtures though. Palace and Southampton at home the next three, Watford away and Fulham away outside of that. So I'm not rushing to get rid of him, but I do have my eye on potentially get him out at some point. What would you say to people who have Lukaku? I'd say well done. Man United players are always good. 750 minutes since we last conceded a goal at Anfield. Yeah, I mean Chelsea defence, Liverpool defence is great. No one is saying otherwise, that's for sure. Keep David Silva. I would keep him for this week. Is there any Champions League fixtures this week? I don't think there is there? I could be completely wrong. It's League Cup this week. So I'd hope he doesn't play in that. You've got to think he's going to play against Brighton. Surely. I'm going to keep him. Unless he plays like 90 minutes in the League Cup and I think he's not going to play at the weekend, in which case I might just ship to Richarlison. I think I've got to keep for that Brighton game. Is Mahrez an option? No, I don't think he is just yet. Just remember, obviously, he came off the bench. So there's no guarantee he starts. And yes, of course, players can score off the bench, but it's probably going to happen, you know, less times than it. He's going to score less times than he actually. Jeez, I can't get my words out. He's not like he'd score every time he comes off the bench. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Mark did do well. 79 points, very nice. It's that Trent Alexander. Such a nice corner, to be fair. And Mitrovic as well. I need Mitrovic. David Silva and Wilson to Mitrovic and Richarlison. Maybe. had Robertson in my squad, would I play him over Doherty? That's a good question. And honestly, that's... would I play Robertson ahead of Doherty? Would I play Robertson ahead of Doherty? I'm not sure I would, but I don't like benching defenders that expensive. Honestly, I was so impressed with Doherty against Burnley. I don't know. I mean, Ings is obviously going to be back for Southampton, which is going to help. I must admit, although they got pretty much battered, not battered, but 3-0, I was quite impressed at points in the match with Southampton. I thought they played the ball around pretty well in attack. Didn't really have a good outlet with Ings not there, but... Yeah, so I don't know how much I'm hoping for a clean sheet in that Wolves game. But they have defended very well, and there's definitely attacking returns. So I'd probably play Doherty. Don't like benching Robertson though. Have I noticed how I'm doing better without my United players? I'm doing okay. It's only 2 weeks. It's only 2 weeks. Don't discount my United players for the whole season. Liverpool allowed them to play. Yeah, maybe, but still, thought they were good. Does Aguero, Jimenez and Ings look as a good forward option? Yeah, that's a nice front three. I would like to fit in Mitrovic there somewhere. I mean, personally, I would probably fit Mitrovic in ahead of Ings and keep Jimenez, but I mean, I only like Jimenez because he's got 2 attacking returns and 2 for me, and I went for him instead of Ings, and it's looking okay right now. You can't fault Ings for what he's done, but it is Chelsea at home the week after for them. Ryan, thanks very much for that donation. Dropped from 159 to 4.5k after my wildcard fail. But on the plus side, the glass half full side, you are still in the top 5k this early on in the season, which is ridiculous. So you can pull it back. If you've completely failed on wildcard, there's 2 things. One, you've not got a wildcard to fix it, so you're stuck with it, so don't panic too much. And I say don't panic because there's nothing you can do about it. And 2, don't rage transfer players. Keep calm, worry about it in a few days, and make the next best option for the next week. That's all you can do. If I didn't have budget constraints, who would I pick in midfield? Salah, Sterling, Hazard. Probably just all the expensive guys. Salah, Sterling, Hazard. I'm trying to think now. Who am I missing? Spurs mid. Just because of their fixture, I'd probably put a Spurs midfielder in there right now. Just trying to get the price. I feel like I'm missing a really expensive midfielder that I've not given any thought to. Yeah, Salah has a Sterling, definitely. Maybe Ali or Eriksen, just because of their fixtures right now. Well, I wouldn't be hugely convinced by that. And then probably Richarlison or Maddison. I don't know if I'd go anyone after that. So yeah, Salah, Hazard, Sterling, Eriksen, Richarlison. There you go. Sané, yeah, could be okay. Do I think Lucas Moura is a good pick now? No, I would be going off Lucas Moura now. If you've got him, then maybe you could keep him in a bit longer, but I don't think he's worth looking to bring in. His son started the last game, Ali was out. Oh, excuse me, I tried to mute. Apologies. Yeah, I just think he's going to get rotated at some point soon. With Son back, once Ali's back, ready to start again. He played a few minutes in the last game. Lamella's doing okay when he plays. I mean, given it's Huddersfield away this week, I'd be tempted to keep him, but I wouldn't be looking to bring him in, I think. Who will you get for Spurs versus Cardiff? I know. Imagine not having any Spurs players versus Cardiff at home. They haven't got the best fixtures afterwards, though, so I'm probably going to hold tight and not have any Spurs players. Sander, thanks very much for that. Okay, that's a good question. You're in the top 9k and you could see quite a few transfers you could make. Should I wildcard from a position of strength just to boost my position more, or hold? I mean, it's hard to answer that without seeing your team. But I kind of like the idea of wildcarding from position of strength. Chances of you ever having a team that's in such dire straits that you need to wildcard is... it's probably not needed. But it depends how many players you're bringing in that you think are really going to do well. Like, if you've not got Hazard and you're thinking of bringing in... like, players like Hazard, Salah, Mane, they probably don't need to be brought in right now if you've not already got them. It depends. I would say it depends on who you're looking to bring in. I'd say probably not if you're in the top 9k, and I'd say you probably don't need to wildcard. Maybe if there's like 7, 8, 9 changes you're looking to make, then yeah, you could possibly do it. I said just because everyone else is wildcarding, just don't feel like you have to. How many points do I have altogether? 400 on the dot. 400 after 6 weeks. What's that like? Don't do maths. 66 points a week average. That's okay. Let's see, if I average that for the whole season, I get 2,500 points. I'm on. Right now, I'm currently on to win in FPL. Just saying. So I've not even included my double game week scores in that. Oof. If you're down the bookies soon, first of all, gamble responsibly and only if you're 18 or over, depending on the laws in your own country. And secondly, put the money on me winning FPL this year. Dick Dutworth, thanks very much for that. 16k, great season. Wow, he's smashing it. Thanks for the stream. No worries. Thanks for tuning in. Damn, 16k this stage of the season. I know there was a couple of people laughing at the fact that I'm only 65k, but I'm quite happy with that at this stage of the season. I think the last 2 seasons, I've really struggled to get up to the top 100k this early on. There's no value in that. You're odds on, I know. You put on a tenner, you only get 11 quid back. Why was Pereira and Gray bench? I'm not sure on Gray, but with Pereira, I think... so he did really well as like a right winger, then he went back to right back, and I think he got kind of rinsed. I think it was the Bournemouth game. He just got destroyed, and obviously Leicester conceded a lot of goals. So I think they just put Amity back there instead. And obviously then didn't play him further forward because they got that Gazelle guy. Giselle, I don't know how you pronounce it. Yanks, how's it going, my man? 22,000 subscribers. Yeah, that's very happy with that. Should be getting 25,000 before the end of the season, which is awesome. Thanks very much to everyone subscribed. If you haven't already, click the subscribe button and click that bell. And why not like the stream while you're at it? Not Mane is one of those midfielders. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think they could all beat Mane this season. Of course, when their fixtures are better, you could put Mane in instead of Richarlison, I suppose. But I just look at that Fulham game and think there's goals, goals, goals in it. Surprise of the season so far, probably Wolves. Although, to be fair, a lot of people were bigging them up pre-season, but they've been very tight, fairly good attacking. They're creating quite a few chances, but they should get better at converting them. Yanks with the $1. Thanks very much. Mane or Firmino for Liverpool's good run in a few weeks. Firmino, good shout. I still think there's a lot of good options in every position. I still think Mane. I just think up front, you've got your kind of premium price player like Aguero. Then you've got, in Firmino's price bracket, you've got Vardy and Lacazette, who I think are both good options as well. And then you've got the cheaper options, Jimenez, Ings and Mitrovic. There's a lot of options to fill those 3 spaces. Whereas in midfield, obviously you've got 4 or 5 spots you want to fill. So I'd probably go for Mane still. Great to see the channel growing. Thanks, Espen. We should say that Liverpool obviously did keep a lot of clean sheets, but Van Dijk did go off injured. I don't know how long he's going to be out for. He may be back this week, but we'll have to keep an eye on that. That would potentially hurt Liverpool's chances. Although much more than they've had in previous seasons. They've got they got a bit more strength and depth. Free hit this week, maybe? Nah. Don't think so. There's some... Oh, Van Dijk's fine. Okay, cool. The thing with free hit, and we'll probably have to talk about this a bit through the season because obviously people will get tempted by it. People will use it and they will post good scores. And could be worth it. But we saw the carnage last year around the double game weeks, and the free hit worked out really well. Now, I potentially could use it a bit better. I could have maybe used it in a double game week to really go for them. Maybe I'll rethink my strategy this year. But to use it in a single game week this early on in the season, I just... The thing with doing that is you could... Every week you could use the free hit to get the best team. Obviously you can actually only use it once, but every week you might be tempted. And yeah, there's a bit of fixture swing. You could bring in Spurs players for Huddersfield away, and United have got, I think, Watford. Yeah, I can't remember now. Oh, West Ham away. You can bring in Arsenal players if you've not got them, I suppose. Triple on Man City for Brighton. But not for me. And I hate saying just save it for the double game week because I know that gets boring, but that's just the way it is. Seeing that there's more budget-friendly options instead of Aguero. So I think Aguero, we'll have to talk about maybe getting rid of Aguero in a few weeks once the fixtures tighten up a bit. Although they don't get that bad. But after Brighton, like I said earlier about Mendy, they do have kind of United, Spurs and Liverpool in the next 5. But, you know, why did he go off after 60 minutes? Was it because he'd just come back from... He had a small knock, didn't he? Well, there was talk of a small knock, and then he didn't play that many minutes in the league, so Champions League. So maybe that's why he only got 60 minutes. I don't know. I feel like he can do the damage in 60, 70 minutes anyway. So I'm not hugely rushed to get rid of him. And I look at the options around that price. Not that I have to spend all 11 million, but Aubameyang I'm not sure about. Lacazette maybe. Lukaku. Maybe go up to Kane. At least Kane's going to play 90 minutes more often than not. But, I don't know. For me, I'm just keeping Aguero. I think he's taken along nicely, to be honest. He's only blanked twice, and he kind of made up for that with a hat-trick. So, he's got 43 points already in the first 6 fixtures. I mean, that's 7 points per game. I mean, that's pretty nice. Catch you later, Luke. Thanks for tuning in. My thoughts on David Silva are, I'm going to wait and see what happens in the League Cup. If he doesn't play or if he has limited minutes, I'm going to keep him for Brighton, I think. But I do foresee me having to ship him on sooner rather than later. Maddison was kind of my placeholder for Richarlison. Might actually be David Silva now. -8 to bring in Jimenez, Doherty and Hazard. Probably not. Really depends who you get rid of. Is it normal to have a hangover at 20 past 10 on a Sunday night? I don't know, but I feel like I do. That's from yesterday's hangover. Fozzie, how's it going? Why not chase David Silva with Richarlison? Let's just remember, David Silva does have Brighton at home. Will I be on the Scoutcast? Yeah, it should be. Same lineup as last week. It's going to be mostly just us 4, I think, now. Maybe the odd guest here or there. What's my squad value? Squad value is like 101.4. I got 0.5 million in the bank. Skycast is Tuesday, same as every week. 67 for you, Fuzzy, very nice. Any points over 60 is good any week. Well, Mostly, yeah. Although I've seen some people post like 60s while, like in double game weeks or whatever. Not so good then when people are getting 100 plus. But yeah, I know what you mean. Oh, the Harry Kane talk. I don't want to get Harry Kane. Don't make me forced to do it. Don't forget, if you haven't already, vote on the polls. We'll go through them in about 5-ish minutes. And hit like on the stream if you're enjoying it. It'd be much appreciated. Have to say, Jota passed the eye test this week. Not sure what the stats are saying. I haven't checked the stats, but I think he looked pretty good against Burnley. I didn't see the Man United match, but he looked pretty good against Burnley, I think, as well. So maybe the points are coming. But I still prefer Jimenez if you just want one attacker from them. It's all relative. Beat the average by 10 every week and you're laughing. Yeah, true. Evening, Adam. Do I live in Krakow? No. One essential player for game week 7 apart from Aguero. I mean, that Man City game is the standout fixture. If I could pick any player to have this week that I don't own, would it be between Harry Kane? I still don't think he's been very good, but he could get penalties, I suppose. Where are we up to? Everyone's considering Harry Kane, and I haven't got a clue why. No, I do know why, but I just can't bring myself to do it. I'd probably pick Sterling. If it wasn't Aguero, I'd probably just go Sterling. I think that Man City game is ripe for goals. Early thoughts on game week 8, captain. Oh, we're looking ahead now. Oh yeah, Spurs have got Cardiff, haven't they? I mean, to be fair, that's probably the standout captaincy option is Kane. Kane against Cardiff. Eriksen against Cardiff. Maybe I'll work out how to get Eriksen in. I don't know. Because Liverpool play Man City. So I guess as my team stands right now, probably a Hazard against Southampton. Spurs against Cardiff is the obvious fixture. Maybe even Man United against Newcastle. Arsenal got Fulham, which is nice, but it is away. But yeah, I suppose it has to be on my current team. It's probably got to be Hazard. Although just captaining Salah or Aguero is probably not the worst option. I mean, I've not missed. I'm sure a lot of people are in the same boat. I've not had a captain blank yet, and I wouldn't bet money against Salah and Aguero both scoring in that match. Captain Trippier, no, I could just see that going very wrong. Although when I was looking through it just then, that thought did cross my mind a little bit. But after all I've said about captain and defenders, I just don't think I could. Don't think I could do it. Yeah, I'm a little bit worried about Wilson, but not enough to suddenly get rid of him just yet. Maybe Son against Cardiff as an outside option. Keep David Silva for this week, and then bring in Son in game week 8. Oof. Now that could be good. I'm already automatically entered into your league, but I don't see it in the list of my leagues. Well, I started a new league. I didn't auto-renew this one. Yeah, no, Wilson wasn't good, and that's a bit frustrating. Do you know any good channels for Sun Dream Team? I don't. Yeah, I'm not sure what about Wilson. He's got Crystal Palace at home, which I think is an okay fixture. Although obviously they have been defending pretty well. So I'm going to keep hold of him this week, I think. I don't think there's a huge need to rush to get rid of him, but yeah, I'm not super happy about him. Cheers, Mr. Dare. All right, let's do the polls. If you've not already voted, click that little eye in the top right corner and vote on them. You got about another 30 seconds to do that. Who to replace Luke Shaw with? I would just keep Luke Shaw, personally. Got West Ham away, followed by Newcastle at home. Got to be one clean sheet in there somewhere. Am I going to keep Silva? I'm probably going to keep him, yeah, although I was thinking about Richarlison, but now I'm thinking about Son in Game Week 8. Imagine captaining Son. Instead of bringing in Son to captain to just not captain Hazard, though, that just doesn't sound right. See you later, Physio. Jimenez and Mitrovic. I think Mitrovic is the standout in the 7 million or below bracket. So I really like Jimenez, and I think I'm very happy to have him. I don't think that I am very happy to have him, but I think out of the two, it's got to be Mitrovic. But obviously there is a 1.4, 1.3 million price difference. Get Hennessy for Ryan. Yeah, I'm going to hold on for Ryan for now, because after this week, the fixtures, they're not amazing, but they're much better. West Ham at home, Newcastle away, Wolves at home, Everton away, Cardiff away. So a few away games, which is a bit annoying, then a few more home games. Yeah, like I said, it's a mistake. It was a mistake to get him. I didn't want to get Hennessy because I didn't want to double up. Same reason I didn't want to get Patricio. I couldn't get Patricio in the end, but yeah, I made a mistake with the goalkeeper. It's done. I don't really want to spend a transfer to rectify it. I tweeted out last week, Hart was probably also someone to look at. I didn't go for him because of Heaton, worried that he would lose his place, but doesn't look like that's necessarily going to happen anytime soon. So yeah, I messed up with Ryan. Let's hope it comes back to be a good thing with the run of fixtures that he's got. Alright, let's do these polls. Just refreshing now. God, my computer's so slow. I really need to buy a new one. State of the art gaming PC, that's what I need. Perfect for streaming. Okay, we've refreshed. Let me move the mic. So I always look this way. The mic's here. I'm looking this way. It doesn't sound good. And then I'm like, whoa, no, it sounds better. So I'm going to move this here. Just for optimum sound production. So are you getting Richarlison? So for me, now I'm looking back this way and I've moved the mic. So for me, am I going to get... The league codes are in the description below. Are you getting Richarlison? So for me, I would like Richarlison this week. I just don't necessarily have a good way of getting him. Or let me rephrase, I don't have a way that I want to get him. I don't want to get rid of Hazard, Salah, Maddison or Silva. So I probably have to go without him. I'm a little bit worried about that. So 55% are going without for now. 25% going to bring him in this week. And now 19% already own. So it's almost a 50-50 split of either people not having him or they've either already got him or they're bringing him in. And I think he's going to do well. So I'm a little bit worried about not owning him. Salah. I think we're going to talk about Salah every single week. Salah. Keeping or buying, 58%. Selling or don't own, 41%. So that's quite high. I mean, I suppose that's very similar to FPL ownership, which is... God, 42.9%. He's lost quite a bit. So he's only owned by 42.9% overall. People who are watching this stream are voting about 58%. So a little bit higher, which makes sense. I'm going to keep him for now, that's sure. Game week 6 score. 50% of you scored 60 to 69. That is, well, as we can see there, a very common scoreline this week. 23% of you, though, getting 70 to 79. Very nicely done. 19%, 50 to 59. 1% of you with 80 plus. And 5% with less than 50. Oof. Ouch. And the good thing is, next week will be better. Is Hazard essential? 56% of people say no. 43 said yes. I'm quite surprised it's still that high for yes. I think not essential for me, Hazard. He could do well, but he's 10.9 million. And you could say the same thing about Salah. He's going to do well, but he's 12.9 million. You're right. And I think longer term, I'll probably only have one of those and probably be the Liverpool man, but let's see. Mark, you're in the top 10k. Very nice. Should I take a -4 to bring in Sané for David Silva? No, don't think so. Or a -8 to bring in Sterling for Dilbert? No, unless you really think David Silva's not going to start. That seems a bit crazy to me. Yeah, I agree with Adam. I don't know why people are that worried about Shaw. I think I'd keep him. What are my thoughts on Mendy if I held him? So if I've held him for last week, then you must have held him because you wanted more news. So I would wait for that news. I would take the price drop and wait for the news. Now, would I still get Trippier? Probably this, unless I had, if I had, let me phrase. If I still had if I still had Alonso, Robertson, and Mendy. So if I still had the three template defenders from the early game weeks, then I would possibly drop him to a cheaper defender like Doherty or I mean most people got Van Bissaka, but someone like Doherty at like 4.4, 4.5. For my particular team, because I'd already made that choice, I would probably still go for Trippier just to kind of keep the structure there, and because there's no point in bringing a Liverpool defender this week for the next 2 weeks. But I would like longer term Robertson and Trent. Just gotta hope Trippier plays. If he plays, I think he's a good option. There's always that chance he gets rotated. Just if he does get rotated, I'm just obviously hoping that he doesn't come on at all for 1 minute cameos, which I don't think he's done so far. He's either played or he hasn't. Well, he's only missed one game. That was the first game of the season, so we'll see. Right, people, I think I'm going to leave it there. Lots of the questions are already answered. A little bit of a shorter stream than usual, not too short. Trippier will miss Cardiff. I know, that's the one I'm worried about. And that is the one I said when we were talking about bringing him in before, that when he misses games like Cardiff at home, that's really frustrating. But look, it's done now. I've got him in. If he plays, I'm really happy about it. And hopefully he can assist that Kane hat-trick that everyone's talking about. But yeah, gone through loads of the questions I think we're going to. We'll have the usual video early in the week, and then another stream on Thursday to chat about Mendy and Kane and all sorts of stuff like that. Just before I go, let me just quickly do the patron shoutouts as well. So the producers, Dean P, Matt Check, Alex C, Kenneth DT, Connor S, Andreas G, Matthew H, Hayden H, and Melissa B. Thanks very much for the support on that. For everyone who's been watching live, thanks very much. For everyone that's watching afterwards, I will catch you for the next stream, hopefully, which will be Thursday, 9:30 PM UK time. Otherwise, hopefully a few videos during the weekend, etc., etc. I'll leave it there.